psychologist aiming to make your life just a bit more manageable. Remember, the tools and the tidbits that you pick up on this channel are purely educational. They can't replace therapy, but with some practice, they can help you along in your daily life. So let's get started. Today, we are going to be talking about the all elusive topic of how in the hell we're supposed to make friends as adults. How? And where? What do we do? What sandbox do we go to when we're little? It's so easy, right? And then people seem to group up, and then it just seems next to impossible. People are busy, people have their own friends, and it seems like everybody has friends from when they're younger, and that's it, right? So if you're looking, like me, always to make new friends and new connections and deeper relationships, then I will tell you how we can go about it. It's not easy, but there are a couple of suggestions that I want to give you on where and then how you can go about it when you actually meet these people, what you can do to be impactful to them and for it to be interesting for you. So let me tell you, the first time I moved away from home was not in college. The first time was in graduate school. All the way at the end of my graduate school, I moved far away from home, and there was no friends, no family, nobody. I was living in my own apartment for the first time in my mid-20s, and I had nobody. So I had to figure this out too. Like, how do you make friends as adults, and where do you go? So the first thing that I want you guys to think about is to be vulnerable. It's uncomfortable and it's risky, just making friends, just like it is in dating. It's just another type of relationship. You still can face rejection just like you can in dating. All the same rules apply. It's a little nerve-wracking. You're putting yourself out there. So we have to just be comfortable with that. That's what we have to do if we want to form potentially a new friendship. And some of them will work out, and we can actually have this person in our lives, which is so exciting to think of a new, addition as a grown-up into our lives. And some of them won't. They'll either fade out, or both of you won't really be into it, and that's fine. So think of it like dating. It's not that different. It's just a different type of relationship. Same vulnerability, same type of rejection that you face, right? So what I did that I really strongly want to recommend to you guys when I was away and on my own for the first time is, somebody told me this and I so want to pass it on to you. You guys have probably heard about this, but meetup groups. You want to start by looking at what your interests are. Because if you go toward groups that have your interests, then you already started with that person on a common foundation, right? You have a common interest. That's already a good start. You have at least one thing in common with this person. So what I did was I ended up making all my friends where I was for that year through these meetup groups. Now, was I nervous and terrified every time I went to one of these groups? Absolutely. I hated walking into a room being like, here I am, and nobody's there. There's no wing person that you know. There's nobody there that you know. But first of all, like I said, take a look. It's meetup.com, and it has, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but they have so many different interests. The interests were so specific, like, oh, people who like hikes in the morning, people who like Harry Potter, people who like who are young professionals between this age and this age, recently divorced people. I mean, truly, for every single age and for every single interest, and you could put within how many miles, you can find a group. And I want you to know that this is way more common than you think. Just like we thought, ooh, online dating, that's so taboo, but that's just how people date. Meetup groups, that's what people do if they want to make friends. Well, they do two things. You can sign up for a meetup group just like I did and met all my friends when I was away, right? Like I said, you are vulnerable. It is scary to walk in, but you're already starting with something in common with these people, a real interest. And sometimes they're very specific, right? Or you can sign up for leagues. There are sports leagues, and some of them have traditional sports like volleyball or volleyball, volleyball, or hockey, things like that. But some of them are more games, right, and fun. Like, I was going to sign up for a cornhole league and try to meet people there because I thought that sounded fun and lighthearted. I didn't end up signing up because it's really far away, but if it was close, I really might. So you have that option as well. You can sign up for a league, and again, you're already starting out with camaraderie and something in common with these people. And also, what bonds people, especially in friendship, is something called superordinate goals. It's not my goal, it's not your goal, it's a goal that we have together. Sports is really good at that. I I'm not there to achieve my goals or your goals. We are there to achieve the team's goals of winning. And that really, really clicks people into place and bonds people. That's why when athletes retire or people come home from the army, the number one thing they say they miss is the camaraderie. Not the activity, the camaraderie, the working together towards something, the brotherhood or sisterhood, things like that. So meetup groups and sports leagues sort of replicate that. And your third option is to sign up for a class, a dance class, a painting class, a cooking class. You never know who you're going to meet at these places, but you do have the chance of being in front of somebody that you find interesting. By the way, whether that's friendship wise or romantic or dating wise, right? You are exposed to this group of people that you at the very least know are interested in one thing that you're interested in, right? And again, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Yes, it's vulnerable to sign up for these things. Yes, it's scary and uncomfortable, but it's kind of like the potential benefits outweigh the definite risk. The potential benefits are that you might have a person or multiple people in your life that grow to be somebody that you deeply, deeply care about and deeply, deeply care about you back that you didn't have and you wouldn't have otherwise. Isn't it worth a little bit of nerves? A little bit of nerves before you leave the house, a little bit of nerves when you're walking into that room, right? Give it a try. And when you are in front of these people, let's say there is somebody that you find interesting, stop it with the small talk. Stop it. I'm going to come through that screen. I hate small talk. Not everybody hates it as much as me, but I know other people don't like it either. But I'm going to tell you what, it definitely makes you not memorable to that person. And for you doing the small talk, you're bored as hell too. So stop it. Stop it. So, no small talk. So what do we do in its place? Genuine curiosity. Find something that you are genuinely interested in about that person and have that be the hook rather than nonsense and superficial sentences. So maybe they're wearing something that you think is really nicely put together. It's okay to say, you have a really great sense of style. Where did you get that? Right? Or maybe their hair is in a certain way. Or maybe you weren't talking to them, but you overheard them say like a funny quip, or they have a really good sense of humor. It's okay to turn around and say, you're funny. You're really funny. Where do you get your sense of humor? Are you always funny like this? You know, something you are genuinely, genuinely hooked by, interested in, and from there you can start. Everybody wants to be seen as interesting, right? And important. So if we are genuinely interested, now we're memorable to that person. And they want to be genuinely interested in you back. Well, what about you? Right? And now you have something going that is memorable when you and that person leave the place, that maybe you do want to continue a conversation or you do want to continue being curious in each other. But small talk here and there, basic questions, it's not interesting to you, it's not interesting to the other person. And when you guys leave that league or that meetup group, where is that really going to go? What foundation did we build, right? So try the meetup group, try the leagues, whether it's traditional sports or something more lighthearted, and try classes, right? Painting classes, dance classes, like I said, strength training, whatever. Try different classes. One of those three might get you to meet somebody that at the very least has one thing in common with you, a genuine interest or a superordinate goal that you guys can work toward together. And when you do get in front of those people, like I said, genuine interest and curiosity. Find something that you are genuinely interested in and curious about. Okay? I hope you take my advice if you are looking to make new friends as adults, which seems next to impossible, but it's not. It's not. We just have to be in the right environment with other people who are having the same goal as us, which is also to make friends and make connections. It's a beautiful thing. So we all should be a little bit vulnerable in the service of potentially making new connections that might be very, very powerful for our lives moving forward. Until then, I post videos every Tuesday and Friday. And in the next video, we will be talking about intuition, gut feeling. What does that mean when we say gut feeling? We're going to try to break it down and think about how we can explore what a gut feeling is, how we can tune into it more. Give it a try. Come on back and watch that video. Until then, you